So these Brahmins, asking these really deep questions, produce a body of work called the Upanishads. This means supreme knowledge, and it's a collection of works that explain the Vedic cultural system. The way it comes out kind of in form is a series of dialogues, conversations between students and teachers, between disciplines and sages. And this is something we see a lot in history. We're certainly going to see it in ancient Greece. And what this kind of conversation back and forth allows the works to do is to explore important issues and also provide lessons about what the ideal social order is. Additionally, it provides kind of a canon, a go-to set of texts about religious thought that spreads throughout the Vedic people. The main teaching in the Upanishads is that people aren't separate from each other, but instead they're part of a common universe, and that universe itself is called Brahma. In this perspective, the physical world, it changes all the time. It's full of chaos. It's full of illusions. But there is a universal being. It's called the Atman. And this universal being connects everything. It extends into all people, all creatures. And the presence of this universal being makes all creatures part of a bigger kind of universal soul. Okay, so that's really heady, I know. Everything's got to die, right? So all living beings have to die. But this universal being guarantees an eternal life and ensures that when we die physically, kind of what they would consider our soul, although it's not a Christian idea of a soul, is reborn. It transmigrates into new lives. And this cycle continues with humans as they're reborn either as humans or they change into something else. And depending on the type of life you live, you either make your way kind of up the social totem pole or make your way down. And if you do a really good job, and if you pay attention to the teachings in here and practice them, then eventually you achieve kind of a permanent union with Brahma. This is the highest level of achievement. And at that point, you do what Gilgamesh was trying to do. You break the cycle of birth and death and rebirth, and instead you kind of live on eternally. So how do you get there? Well, according to these Brahmin, what you do is you live a simple, ascetic life. Get away from the pleasures and comforts of the world. Engage in a ton of meditation that lets people transcend, move away from the physical world, to merge their soul with that universal soul of Brahma. Experience eternal life and happiness. We'll see a lot of parallels kind of as we go through the class with different religions here. So these unique views on Vedic life and the universe, they're passed down as principles of faith. And they help unify much of northern India, not politically, but instead religiously.